Okay, Amy, you're going to make me go there, aren't you? Amy's asking, have you ever been in a slump? And she wants to know how to get motivated to get back on track. I have been in some slumps, Amy. It was just at a time in my life when I was going through a really rough period and I just didn't have the energy or the focus to do triathlon. And I remember saying to myself, well, who are you if you're not a triathlete? And I thought, well, turns out I gained quite a bit of weight and I was depressed and it was not a good place for me to be in. So I used that as my motivation. I thought, well, I've kind of given up the sport and is that going to make me happy? It did the opposite. So not only was I kind of in a rough place in my life, but I realized that it's that daily discipline of doing something good for myself that really pulls me out of any slump I'm in, whether it's a racing slump or a personal slump. So again, all I did was look around for something to put on my calendar. And I think at that time in my life, running seemed like it was sort of the easiest thing for me to get back into. So I picked a half marathon. I mean, running was like the easiest thing. Just put the shoes on, go out the door and run. So I called my best friend from college and said, hey, what are you doing in 6 months? There's a half marathon in Santa Barbara. Do you want to train? And we'll go there and we'll race together. And she, of course, agreed. And so not only was I feeling supported and part of a community, even though it was just a community of 2 at that time, it got me out of my slump. It got me kind of focusing on something down the road, and daily I would just kind of start building and building. So yeah, there's all kinds of slumps that you can get in, and I really feel like it can be very simple. You can find one thing, and the key for me was to include somebody else, to ask my friend to support me, come out and run with me. And even though we didn't get to train together, I knew we were running towards the same goal. And then we had a great time in Santa Barbara. I mean, it was such a fun thing, and it really pulled me out of my slump.